Bitcoin is no longer an underground phenomenon.
Buyers will buy Bitcoin at $445. Sellers will sell at $460. If you're buying less than half of Bitcoin, you'll have to go to market price.
This Bitcoin event is taking place on Wall Street.
45 bid, 463 ask.
But how does the currency work? One of the people best placed to explain is Peter Todd. He's chief scientist for a number of Bitcoin companies, including one of the hottest, Dark Wallet.
So what Bitcoin is it's virtual money. I can go give it to you electronically, you can give it to someone else electronically.
The key thing to understand about Bitcoin is that these two people trading here are making a deal without any bank involvement. It's a form of electronic cash, and that has massive implications.
So of course, in normal electronic banking systems, what I would say is please transfer money from my account to someone else's account. But fundamentally, who owns what money is recorded by the bank, by the intermediary. What's really interesting about Bitcoin is this virtual money is not controlled by a bank, it's not controlled by government, it's controlled by an algorithm.
The algorithm in question is a triumph of mathematics. This is a Bitcoin transaction in action. To pay someone in Bitcoin, the transaction must be signed using a cryptographic key, which proves the parties agreed to it. An unchangeable electronic record is then made of this transaction. This electronic record contains every transaction ever made on Bitcoin. It's called the blockchain, and it's stored in a distributed form by every user, not by a bank or other authority.
The blockchain is really the revolutionary part of Bitcoin. But what's really unique about it is it's all public. So you can run the Bitcoin algorithm on your computer, and your computer is inspecting every single transaction to be sure that it actually followed the rules. And the rules are really what Bitcoin is. You know, that's the rules of the system, that's the algorithm. It says things like you can only send money to one person at once, and we all agree to those rules.
And Bitcoin has one other characteristic which it shares with cash. It can be very hard to trace.
Well, what's controversial about Bitcoin is that it goes back to something quite like cash. It's not like a bank account where a government investigator can just call up the bank and get all the records of who I've ever transacted with without any effort at all. You know, if they want to go and find out where I got my Bitcoins, they're going to have to ask me, they're going to have to investigate.